And we begin with breaking news in St. Louis. 3 police officers are hurt tonight. 1 shot, the other 2 with hand injuries. Thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Brent Solomon. Tonight, still an active scene following the incident that unfolded at 3 this afternoon. Officers were called to the Winter Garden Apartments on Kingsbury. That's in the DeBoliver Place neighborhood near Forest Park. Police showed up on what's known as a CIT call, or a behavioral health related call. That's when they say the suspect fired shots. We have a team of reporters covering every angle of this story. They've been in that neighborhood where it happened, also at Barnes and at St. Louis University Hospital for over an hour now. Let's begin with Robert Townsend, who's live at the scene. Robert.
Hey there, Brent. We've been out here in this neighborhood again since this breaking news developed, and you can see right now lots of police officers are still out here in this parking lot as we come on at 6. Several neighbors who were outside at the time when the shooting happened or just got here are also still out here in the parking lot. Again, as you mentioned, police telling us this all happened in the DeBoliver Place neighborhood. We are outside Winter Garden Apartments here in the 5700 block of Kingsbury Place in St. Louis. Again, this is all developing still. Right now, we're still trying to gather information from police, but I can tell you this as we come on at 6 o'clock. Again, police say the officers came here for what's called a behavioral health related call. The officers tried to approach a male suspect as emergency responders got here. Now, police tell us that's when the suspect fired several shots at officers from a gun that he had in his pocket. Again, one officer was shot in his shoulder. We're told he is in good condition at this point, stable. He's alive, and that's the good news. 2 other officers have injuries to their hands. Those injuries, we're told, happened when both officers struggled with the suspect. Jillian Atkins lives in the apartment building. Here's what she had to say.
I was outside trying to get some air, and not having to see a lot of policemen running in. So they saying some gunshots for us, so I got scared and ran off on this lot and for clearance.
What's your thoughts now as we hear that several police officers And back here live, a source and neighbors telling me that a woman actually called police to check on her brother who is in his 70s. He was not answering his phone, we're told. The source says the sister told police the man was, quote, experiencing delusions. Neighbors tell me they saw police arrest the guy. He is the suspect, they say, lives up there on the 3rd floor. Right now, police are not telling us anything else about that man. Of course, we're on top of this developing story. For now, though, we're live in this neighborhood. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on your side.
All right, Robert, thank you for that report. Police are also at the scene at Barnes Jewish Hospital, and that's where our Holden Kerwicki is standing by right now. Holden, you're expecting to hear from police there pretty soon.
You know, that's exactly right, Brent. Actually, a spokesperson just came over and told us that in 5 minutes they would be taking us over across the street to BJC, and Chief Tracy, who is here at the scene, would be coming out and speaking with us. I'm going to step out of the way now because throughout the last hour it's been a very fluid situation out here. A very large police presence, understandably. But what we have noticed is a number of family members of these police officers who are coming in. They are being greeted by some of their co-workers and taken into the hospital. It's a very emotional scene out here. Obviously, they're concerned for the status of their loved ones. At this point, we are being told that that officer who was shot in the shoulder is in stable condition, and the other officers had injuries to their hands. We don't have an update yet on the suspect in this case, other than being told they are in the hospital as well. One thing that photojournalist David Muth actually pointed out earlier is that how quickly the police got here. There were actually officers who were at the scene who came here to the hospital to make sure that their comrades were okay. You could actually still see the blood on their police-issued uniforms, and it was a very, very emotional scene out here. But we are expecting an update here in a few minutes. The one thing I have noticed is that the first responders, the St. Louis Metro Police Department, were thanking the paramedics for helping get their comrades here so very quickly. Traffic has been an issue. They are trying to direct traffic behind me. But the one thing I have noticed, again, is the people out here who are stopping, and it hasn't been productive. They've been yelling at the police. You know, the back and forth isn't productive in this case. They're simply trying to do their jobs and make sure their comrades are okay. And at the end of the day, that's all of us can ask for. But we will continue to provide updates here from the scene, and in the next few minutes, we do expect to see Chief Tracy. So Brent, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Holden Kerwicki reporting live for us. Holden, thank you. There's also a busy scene tonight at SLU Hospital, and our Travis Cummings is there right now. Travis, what are you saying?
Brent, when we arrived here to St. Louis University SSM Health Hospital, we did see a first responder presence right outside of the emergency room. It's unclear exactly what personnel here is at the hospital, but I do want to show you some photos I was able to snap because we're only able to get so far on the property, but you can see some St. Louis police officers, a few fire personnel on scene. At one point I saw St. Louis Sheriff's deputies on scene, and they kind of were just lingering outside of the emergency room doors. At one point I saw a stretcher going from the emergency room doors to one of the emergency vehicles, but that's as close as we can get. Again, at this time it's unclear who is here, but it's evident that someone from the police department is inside of the hospital here at SLU tonight. Again, we are just waiting on Chief Tracy, who is expected to give a press conference in just a little bit. He'll likely tell us exactly where their personnel are that are hurt tonight, and we'll continue to keep our eyes on SLU Hospital SSM Health here for you. Brent?